with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Molly Samora. We've got breaking news out of Erie's west side where police are investigating a shooting that's left one person dead. The first calls for this one came in around 4 o'clock this morning. A shooting victim along West 29th Street and between Cherry and Sigsbee Streets. Erie police say they got one confirmed fatality. It's believed to be a male victim. Officers found an SUV in the middle of the street with spent shell casings on the ground nearby. Neighbors told police they heard at least a half dozen shots. Still no word on the victim's identity. Again, one person is dead after a reported shooting in the area of West 29th Street and Cherry Streets in the city of Erie. Count on Erie News Now for continuing coverage throughout the day. And we're getting a lot of new information on the events that led up to a Tuesday shooting deaths of two local children at the hands of their father. According to police, we'll get to that in a minute, but first we're coming off an emotional night for those friends' kids, teachers, and classmates. Our Haley Potter takes us there.
It was an emotional night in the Wattsburg High School parking lot as friends, neighbors, classmates, parents, and teachers all alike gathered to share fond memories of Madison and Zach, students from the school whose lives were taken far too soon.
Me and Madison, it's just crazy because we grew up together, we went to school together. It's just crazy because she sat in math next to me 2 weeks ago. It's just absolutely mind-blowing.
The kid's half-sister Mackenzie was at the vigil on behalf of her entire family.
I just want to thank you guys all for coming. It means so much.
Take a look. This was the circle of support for this 10 and 13-year-old. Children shared their fond memories and their tears. The community bowed their heads and prayed and sang Amazing Grace. Parents also shared stories about Madison and Zach and hugged their own kids a little tighter. Shayna Barton tells me her son was best friends with 10-year-old Zach and lit a candle for their entire family and community.
They were in class together for the past couple years. They played baseball together, soccer. They hung out all the time. He was like family to us. We took him on vacations with us, and he was very close to the family, and he's going to be deeply missed.
And while every case of domestic violence is different, it seems overall those sorts of cases are on the rise. Here in the U.S., over 200,000 calls a year are made to domestic violence hotlines every day on average. Now, Arlena Jonathan has more.
Much more dangerous, much more violent than we have seen in the past.
That's how Paul Lusich, the executive director at the Crime Victim Center on West 18th Street, describes the calls he's been getting right here in Erie County. Since the restrictions have been lifted, he says him and his team have been getting calls about domestic violence and child abuse more often. This is alarming, but the Crime Victim Center serves to those affected by tragedies.
In counseling, in resources, in identifying a problem and curbing it before something this terrible happens. And also doing education and prevention programs.
Here in Erie County, Lusich explains the amount of resources that are available to those who might be in unsafe situations.
Crisis services, we have a 24-hour crisis hotline, so there's always somebody available on our end of the world, but the county also has crisis services. There are just a plethora of good services, but people need to get to them.
That was our Elena Jonathan reporting, and we mentioned that those two kids' half-sister was at that vigil at Wattsburg High School last night. She also is the one behind a new effort to raise money to help pay for funeral costs. Her name is Mackenzie, and she started a GoFundMe page to help her mom with funeral expenses. Now, overnight, there was an outpouring of support from the community with people stepping up to donate.
I did not know the community could stand behind me this much and support me and my family. And I wanted to thank every single person who has donated and who is going to donate in the future. You are helping my family tremendously.
Now that GoFundMe account has over $20,000 donated so far, and we have a link on our website to that page at erienewsnow.com. And it's the 4th of July, fourth day of testimony in the trial of a man accused of fatally shooting an Edinburgh Wendy's manager during an attempted robbery at the restaurant last year. 21-year-old Marquise Lampley is accused in the shooting death of 24-year-old Alex Kavanagh. Police say Kavanagh tried to protect his co-workers during that attempted robbery. In an odd twist on Wednesday, the defendant's mother took the stand and testified for the prosecution. Lampley is representing himself. The prosecution is expected to wrap up its case later today. Meantime, we have an updated case against the two suspects charged in a deadly shooting in the middle of a busy local road. It all happened last March near the intersection of Zuck and Zimmerly Roads, not far from the Mill Creek Mall. Police charged 20-year-old Lexus Connor and Regional Welsh in connection to the murder of 25-year-old Casey Nadali of Titusville. Investigators say it was all part of a robbery plot. After a preliminary court hearing this week, a judge ruled there was more than enough evidence to send the pair's case onto a full trial. And a fundraising fight is causing some controversy within the Erie Catholic school systems. It's all about a formal official cathedral prep in Villa Maria, still apparently trying to raise money in the school's name. Chris Haggerty is the former Prep Villa president. He left that job a few months ago, and since then he started a group called the Loyal and True Foundation, one that he says would benefit Cathedral Prep. But school and the diocese officials say Haggerty's not authorized to do that. They sent out a letter that states Haggerty is no longer affiliated with the school and they're considering their legal options. Now, a lawyer for Haggerty called the Catholic school system's reaction disappointing. And it's a big day in the history of downtown Erie's Warner Theater. A huge renovation project is wrapping up. It cost $26 million to build a new stage inside the Warner and create a huge new backstage area. There's also a new enclosed walkway to the theater along French Street. At 11 this morning, the highest and final construction beam will be put into place. They call it a topping off ceremony. The Erie Philharmonic is set for the first performance inside the new renovated Warner. That one's scheduled for Saturday, December 4th. And we want to bring in our David Walter. I know I was outside getting some video of flooding. Are people going to be running into rain the rest of the day?
Not really a whole lot more expected for today. We really got a douse this morning. And right now, things are trying to dry up a little bit. We are getting some sunshine. Humidity still on the higher side, but that will really start going down as we continue through today and into tonight. You can see that dew point in the 60s right now. It is 73 degrees. We're going to work with a little bit of sunshine out there. You can see more of it towards northeastern Ohio. That's starting to spread into Erie County. Most of the showers, have really pushed out of the area. You can see some rain pushing on through Bradford, Kane, still seeing some of that wet weather out there into McKean County, also Forest County, a little bit of that wet weather. Futurecast isn't really going to bring us much this afternoon. There was a chance that we could see some of these showers refire, but our atmosphere is a little exhausted from the rain this morning, so we may not be able to get anything else to develop as we get into the afternoon. Possibly a little shower here or there, maybe one towards the lake shore by about 7, 8 o'clock. It will be relatively quiet on the overnight, but you still see a couple of showers in there. We'll be on the edge of a low pressure system, so that could still maybe drop in a couple of extra showers during the day on a Friday, but high pressure will build in and really start to eradicate these rain chances as we head on into the weekend. But you can see some of those showers. They'll continue to drop in during the day and even into your Friday evening. Right now, temperatures are in the 60s and 70s. We won't really see a big warm up just because of the fact that we are starting to deal with some cooler and drier air. It's starting to nudge its way down from the north. And with that drier air, that means these numbers will start to come down. But it's still relatively steamy out there. Your zone outlook for today, we are expecting temperatures as we get into the afternoon to generally be in the middle of 70s. We got some sunshine to go around, and we'll continue to see maybe that isolated shower out there in Crawford County this afternoon. More clouds than sun, but we're certainly working with some of that sunshine as that drier air continues to expand on into the area. Warren County lower 70s for today. We'll look over the next couple of days. We've got cooler stuff just in time for the July 4th weekend, but don't worry, it's still going to be warm enough for you. I'll talk about that in just a moment. Molly, back to you.
Hey, thanks, David. And we're inching closer to the 4th of July weekend. And as we continue our coverage on Independence Day, one local man has created a group that brings veterans together in a space where they can just sit back, relax, and bond over music.
A true patriot cares about everything about their country.
For Vinny Stefanelli, patriotism is an important part of his life. And that's why 10 years ago this week, he created the group Music for Veterans.
Music is a good thing, and I thought that it would be healthy for veterans to have music in their lives.
Each week he gets together with a group of 10 to 15 veterans to play some songs.
There's times when they want to talk about something. There's times when they have something on their mind that another veteran would understand. So those are moments for us to share those moments.
Stefanelli tells me this week is a great reminder of the importance of why we have our freedom in America.
It's just picnics. It's not just parades. What it is the Declaration of Independence. You know, and most importantly, I see it as we the people. The first few words say everything. We are responsible for this country. And so we have to recognize this day as a day that is a celebration for our independence, a celebration for all that we have, and as well as remembering the people who allowed us to have this.
And you may have remembered if you're on your way to work today, very heavy rain led to some traffic problems in part of the viewing area. Some of the city's typically flood-prone spots left that impact, like here at 14th and Liberty Streets, where high water left at least one driver temporarily stranded. Even outside our station got hit pretty hard with some of the areas around our studios flooded briefly. Now Erie firefighters got called out to the area of West 8th and Chestnut Streets as well this morning to help out stranded drivers there. And we want to bring back in our David Walter. David, are people going to run into this kind of rain throughout the week?
No, I think we're certainly looking a whole lot drier as we head towards the weekend, especially Saturday into Sunday. Now, tomorrow we still have some of those rain showers out there, but I'm not really expecting any of that real heavy stuff like what we saw this morning. And yeah, certainly some drainage problems out there. By the weekend, of course, July 4th, a lot of picnics, a lot of celebrations, a lot of fireworks as well. Be safe. And if you're at the pool this weekend, you can see those temperatures 70s and lower 80s by Sunday. Really not looking at any sort of rain out there on Sunday. Maybe just a very spotty shower or storm Saturday. Next week, we see that heat really start to build up on Tuesday. Cold front may be hitting towards the middle of the week, and that will increase our shower and thunderstorm potential just a little bit. But right now, we're still 6-7 days away from that. But in the meantime, the weekend, again, not looking too bad. And the rest of today, we should be generally trying to dry things out.
Thanks, David, and thanks for joining us for the Erie News Nowcast. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time. Our next news is coming up here at noon on WSE and 12:30 on WICU. Make it a great day.